Hopefully you all will have a good relationship with your Stoma Care Nurse. But as you know, the Stoma Care Nurse is somebody who you will see hopefully before your operation, during your time in hospital, and then for a greater or lesser extent then after your surgery and whenever you go home. There are some units that do a very close follow-up, and there's other hospitals that just don't have the resources for that and very much rely on you coming back, that if you do run into any problems. But I'm sure there's times you wonder, what else does this nurse do? Well, the Stoma Care Nurse is a very integral part of the multidisciplinary team within your hospital. She or he is the one who will be able to relay any of the information that you give to her or him back to the surgeon in case that there's any other discussions that have to take place, any other particular problems that you're having. The Stoma Care Nurse is also the liaison between any social workers or physios or occupational therapists. So she is there in the centre, being able to direct you to the most appropriate health professional that can help you with any problem that you're having. But outside of that clinical role, the Stoma Care Nurse also has other aspects to the role, which is really important as well. Central to what we do to enable the service to really grow and progress and to share knowledge with our colleagues throughout the world is really to participate in research and audit. And then it's really important then for the Stoma Care Nurse in some instances to be able to write up papers and to present her or his results at different nurse conferences. So within the course of the year in each country there's generally one big Stoma Care Nurse conference, and that's where we would all meet and we would listen to developments and changes in different services and be able to take those pieces of information back to our own services and to improve them and to enable you to have the best possible care and really to go forward with new things, new thinking, new ideas that can help to improve your quality of life. The Stoma Care Nurse also operates telephone support, and within the service that I worked in, our patients would have rang in, left a message, and then the Stoma Care Nurse who was responsible for the telephone that day then would have returned the telephone call. And that's a really good use of time rather than having people to come up to the hospital at each point in time that you have maybe a minor problem that can be answered on the telephone. Education is a huge part of the role of the Stoma Care Nurse, and that includes both educating you as a patient and as a user, but also family and friends, nursing colleagues, members of the multidisciplinary team and the wider healthcare professionals. As patients are getting discharged from hospital quicker and going home into the community, public health nurses, district nurses, community nurses are really an integral part of managing stoma care at home. And a lot of my colleagues would be having ongoing teaching sessions with this group of nurses as well. But if you also think about pharmacists and GPs, they really do need to be kept up to date with any information and maybe changes to services as well. Stoma Care Nurses can act as consultants, and that can be within local government whenever they're looking at strategies to how to maybe make services much more efficient, to manufacturing companies where some nurses would actually sit on panels and really feed the information directly to the manufacturer, the real life problems that patients are having. Another way that the Stoma Care Nurse's role has developed is that he or she has really moved into different areas, and that would be perhaps looking at really managing patients with inflammatory bowel disease more carefully. People with the diagnosis of cancer, your Stoma Care Nurse may be your key worker and the key point of contact for you. Stoma Care Nurse can also have a role within the incontinence services and also managing peg feeding. So the nurse that you see by your bedside is there with you that particular day, but her role really can be widespread throughout the hospital trust.